It's fucking hot here. It's 96 fucking degrees.
Is this better?
Yeah, that sounds good.
It sounds good. Yeah, it's hot as fuck here too.
Yeah.
That's why Mitchell and I tomorrow are going to the Sequoia National Park, where it's going to be 110 tomorrow. So
Good plan.
good thinking.
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going tomorrow. I'm going to take off somewhere cooler than here. That leads me a lot of directions to throw my dart.
Yeah.
But,
You want me to send you the address of our cabin?
Yeah. I just saw it's only 90 miles to Crater Lake. I've only been there once, but I wouldn't want to go. I wouldn't want to go with tourists. Like, it'd be crowded there right now. In fact, I saw a picture of Tom Rhodes there, so I'll wait for the tourists to get the fuck out of there. Maybe hit that one in the spring, or not the spring, but in the fall, when the kids are back to learning on their computer. Nobody's going anywhere. You're all going to be homeschooled.
Yeah, well, it depends on where you are. My sister's a first grade teacher, and she starts back on Monday. So, it was nice knowing her. She had a good run
in class. Cool. Huh?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh yeah. Well, here's the thing. This is why it even sucks even more. Both. She's got some kids. The kids. It was up to the kids. So you can either opt for online
liability,
or you can go or you can go to class. So now she as the teacher has to double her workload. She has to teach the kids in class, and then she has to also teach the kids online. So, if there's one thing I know, it's that our teachers are overpaid and underworked. So at least now in this pandemic, we can finally rectify that situation. Maybe
can't she make her online stuff? She should do a Patreon for her online.
She really should.
Yeah, for $5 a week.
For $5 a month, you can find out what 2 + 2 equals.
Yeah. They should just, like under the circumstances, I think it's okay for stupid kids to just start in on trade school.
Teaching a first grader to weld.
Yeah, I mean,
fast track them to welding and sewing.
Well, if you look around, adults that we grew up with, or adults we grew up with that went all the way through school, sometimes even some college, are complete fucking dumb turds. So why even bother? Start cutting hair when you're 14.
And we knew it. And we knew it when they were children. Like, it wasn't like, oh, he's just probably a late bloomer. No, he's a ditch digger.
Yeah, this is this is a different kind of stupid. A teacher I know, I just read a big scribe, a copy and paste thing about being a Christian, and we are not in the end. We are in the end times, but not as far into it as we think. So, and she was one of the. She was one of the.
There. Way to go out on a limb, Andy.
Well, she's saying we're in the book of Revelations. It's just that we're not 7 years into trials and tribulations, because she knows through her fucking brain that it's going to get way worse in the tribulation period. So we better buckle up and keep voting for fucking loser game show host, because that's what her Jesus wants. Her Jesus is a fucking cunt. And I'm not trying to be a Jehovah's Witness, but Jesus.
That's also part of it, is that the people who believe in Revelations want it to come true. They want it to be the end times. So a vote for Trump makes sense, because you're just hurrying that along. You're getting it there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cheers. It'll be, I mean, really, the only, if the Bible's, if she's correct, then Jared has to be the Antichrist, right? He had a building at 666. He's fucking Damien looking.
Like Trump, yes. Jared Kushner. I thought when you said Jared, I immediately think of Jared from Subway. And
that's what I was thinking too. I was like, I don't. How does Andy know Jared from Subway's address?
I'll tell you this. Weird. I'll tell you this. Having sex with children does keep a person thin.
So it wasn't just the foot-long chicken and
you're taking any kind
lettuce
of Gloria.
sandwiches.
Oh, I'm thinking Jared, every one of the, I think to get into the Trump family, you have to at least rape and kill an animal, but I'm sure that was like years ago. Now they have to do a minority.
Jared Kushner does have the dead eyes of the devil. Like he's got that blank face of like a dead body reanimated with the spirit inside of it that doesn't quite know how to work all the parts. He's got
I
it.
Look that I could pick him out of a lineup if you put one up right now.
Good for you, brother.
Yeah.
God, he sucks so hard.
Get to know your enemy, Chad.
It's hard to be the worst Jared.
They're not even close to me. They're going to be long out, and there'll be a new enemy in by next year. It's just a different fucking cycle.
How about all that hell I broke? I put in one mailbox, one mailbox, and then the government responds by disappearing thousands of mailboxes in response. Willy-nilly.
They called it Operation Willy-nilly. And once they heard that, people were approving this, put their mailbox wherever they want thing. Well, we can't have that. So we're having an effect.
I got two plans for my mail assault. Is one, I'm going to have my friend make I support the post office or save the post office sign to put down by my mailbox for when they come inspect. And then, I forget the other half of it, but I got half of it down.
Listen, that was a good first half. Maybe you don't need the second half.
My halftime speech is, you guys go out and have some fun.
You did in the first half.
Yeah, I can't remember what was going on in the first half, but let's do some more of that if we ain't losing. And if we're losing, let's do better.
There, Chad. That's Jared Kushner right there. Now tell me that you can't see that as he's a fucking empty.
Like I wish that guy would come close to Chad Shank, because I don't think Chad could like run into him in a store and still eventually beat the fucking guy.
Well, I mean, Jared's one of those guys who is like an elitist cocksucker, but he's also not like a Buffy kind of guy. He's like, he tries to be a regular guy in the way he speaks, but the affectations he has just makes it seem more creepy and weird. Like you're trying too hard to be. We can see you trying to be a normal. And it makes it way worse. If you just fucking had a pinky out and you were sipping on champagne and eating caviar all the time, we would go, yeah, you're an elitist prick. But the fact that you're trying to be one of us makes you even more untrustworthy somehow. So
he's
not even the worst.
He very rarely is in front of a microphone. Which I did. Yeah. That's one of the most admirable things about him, because if he spoke more, I think I would have been inclined to go hunt him down. I mean, he's just such an annoying little fucking twat. But, he gets people killed and fucking does what he wants. And he doesn't. Anyway, we're not here to get political.
This is hilarious
but, hey,
so far,
how are we gonna mail our fucking Christmas packages with no mail service, yo? I count on the post office for errant drug deliveries. Or not errant, people who put drugs in the mail, and then because I just started getting drugs in the mail, and now they want to pull this bullshit.
What are you doing?
I don't think that's a good advertisement, Andy.
Yeah.
Do you want UPS to get the 10%?
I think you misunderstood why we don't think it's a good idea to be saying what we're saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's up to them.
The authorities.
Everybody's definition of drugs is something different,
Yeah,
that's right. They're sending him coffee in the mail.
Yep.
Government officials who are listening to this, it's just coffee. All right. Yes, it's caffeine, and it
is a drug.
Oh, and
the show is dependent upon it.
I'm getting overcharged by T-Mobile. It's when I went to get my phone, something happened, and I ended up I don't know this lady. So I talked to them, and they said I signed a contract that for 2 notepads. I don't even have. I just recently found one, but when I signed this thing, so they've been charging me. They've been charging me $40 extra a month. I have 2 extra phone numbers, tablets that I did not. Chris. So she, lady that said that, you have to talk to Chris, and Chris is not there till Monday. And then I told her, well, I intend to talk to Chris because you can't just go around willy-nilly adding charges.
Somebody learned a new word.
Yeah, she goes, I would agree. So I go, I'll be back to talk to Chris. And don't tell Chris I use that term because I want to throw it at him. It does put you in a situation where it's like hard to defend willy-nilly. Yeah. That's an opinion piece, Well, some people's willy-nilly is other people's perfect.
Yeah, absolutely true. But Andy, I think I've figured it out. This is why you and Doug Stanhope make such a good combination, because you are able to find battles everywhere all the time. And the smallest of interactions can end up being a duel, and Doug is ready to finish every duel. So if you two guys, you just need Doug with you to be like, oh, T-Mobile?
The closer.
I think my friend Mr. Stanhope would like to talk to you right now, and then you just step back out of the the closer.
Well, what am I, the little bird, and Doug is the bulldog? You might want to look away.
You little yacky, you're not going to want to see this.
Was it a little duck? Yacky duck?
Yeah.
Look away, little buddy.
Yacky doodle.
Was it Chompers? Chompers was always beating the
Chopper.
Chad Shank is our
Chopper.
Chad Shank is our choppers. Yeah. I also like that show with the talking motorcycles was a big part of my life. Remember that? The fucking motorcycle.
I
think it's the choppers. The choppers. But I hate motorcycles for the most part. But I like that show.
That was the dune buggy, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What are you?
The dune buggy. There's choppers. Yeah, that duck had it made.
Yeah.
That duck could cause, I mean, people wanted to fuck with that duck, but they did not want to fuck with a pantsless dog with a tie on.
Yeah.
Wearing
Chaille's tie, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Look, that Chaille has adopted.
That's a crazy merch table he has set up there.
No, that's Chaille right there telling Doug he's got to go fucking get his picture taken with some fans.
You're not done yet. Get up. Get up. You're not done.
Not canning.
One more, please.
Doug's like, do I though?
Doug's laying there going, I already got my pants off. I'm not getting back up. Done.
Oh, yeah. And then, like you're right, because I did have a problem that I went to go read. I wanted to read the first chapter of Sam Tallent's book because I heard that I was at the end of the first chapter. So I went to a winery. There's just 2 wineries right beside each other. And I went to Sweet Cheeks because I had a good experience there before. They got a really cool patio. And I got there and it said Sweet Cheeks Winery, Sweet Cheeks.
Oh. Sounds like a place where you get your Brazilian wax done.
Well, I didn't even fit, they were like, went there and I go like a glass of wine, and they said, oh, you can't have a glass of wine for 20, and she looked at her watch, 27 minutes. And it said as you go into the place, it was open at 2, and this was 2:30. So they changed that. I let that go. I went to go sit down on their epic patio.
So they don't serve till 3 p.m. Is that what you're saying? That's what she told you?
Yeah, they didn't go down and change the sign at their driveway. Right. Anyway, daily, and so I sat down, the waterfall, cracked open the book, and I was going to wait it out. And then she says, comes out and goes, you can't just wander around the patio. And I was sitting in a chair. So I was like,
listen, bitch, I was going to be drunk on the patio, but you denied.
Right. I got.
waiting to this line, cunt. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah.
This picture could also be the picture for Andy and the waitress.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's the thing. When Andy said it was called Sweet Cheeks, the first thing I thought was that you're probably the only dude there, and all the women feel threatened by having you there. Like, what is he doing at Sweet Cheeks?
Yeah.
This is where
I was the only dude there, and there were three pantsuits overthinking the wine tasting. You know, they got this fucking epic patio. So all of a sudden, and I went to Sweet Cheeks because they're known to be a little cheaper than Sylvan Ridge, which is just right there. So
you don't want a winery. You don't want a winery that sounds like a subdivision. That's going to be expensive.
I can tell by the names which one is cheaper.
Yeah. Savon Ridge? No.
Yeah.
We're not going there. We're going to Sweet Cheeks. Do they have chicken wings? I'll bet they do.
I don't know. I never really got a chance because I was wandering around on my ass and I was asked to leave the patio. And like, I've been kicked out of bar, you know, but I look like a fucking wine snob that moment, you know. I look like a fucking guy who might enjoy a sifter, fucking Riesling, you know, maybe, you know, a saltine cracker. And, you know, I got a palate. You know, I got a cleft palate for wine. When it comes to wine, I have a cleft palate. Meaning I'll drink red and white, and it'll dribble out my face eventually because I got a cleft palate for wine. But so she just basically asked, you know, so at that point, I couldn't be anywhere except in my car. So I smoked some weed and I was parked in the handicap spot. So I smoked weed and the smoke was blowing into their room. And then when they started to come out and ask me not to be there, I drove off and went to Salvon Ridge, which was just 0.5 miles up the road after it got down the driveway.
How did you find Salvon Ridge to be?
Crowded
with the nice overtones of friendliness.
Yeah, crowded, but I went right in there and got a glass of wine. And I surveyed, and there were people everywhere, which I didn't want to be around people. I don't know if I could have made an announcement or whatever, but that's what, you know, there was nobody at Sweet Cheeks, and I was like, this is perfect. And it was so perfect that even I wasn't welcome. Like nobody.
There was no one at Sweet Cheeks because they were closed.
Yeah, and up the road they opened it when they were wisely open when they said they were going to be at the other place. So I went there and there was like a bunch of people, but it was very spacious. And then I looked up on this little ridge on Sylvan Ridge, and there was a one of them cool chairs you can lean back in and set your wine down. And
Adirondack chair.
Yeah,
big slab.
Yeah. So I went in and I said I'd like 2 glasses of wine, and sure. And then then I combined them like you do, because I didn't want to come back. I got 2 big ones, so I'm gonna
Did you combine them at the bar? Did you combine them at the bar and slide the empty glass back to the bartender? Because that's a classy move.
I drank out of the pitcher once at Pizza Hut and got kicked out. I don't know what happened to you. You combined your drinks.
Yeah.
No, I didn't want to get kicked out of 2 wineries before I had a sip of wine. So I combined them as I walked out, and then I sat one down. And then it's like, looked around, then I saw that chair, and that's where I went and hung out and read the first chapter, got to the part, mentioned me, and hey, I sound like I'm kind of a drug fiend in that book.
Yeah. He nailed it.
I don't know if you're listening to the podcast, but
yeah, it was like, wait a minute.
Sam captured your essence.
Yeah, as I'm sitting there with a wine buzz, and then here's the bitch of it: it's a right turn and a right turn out of Sweet Cheeks to get to the road. But then I went to the other one, caught a wine buzz, and I smoked a lot of weed because I'm not, an attentive reader. So I drove out and I took the directions that you would take if you were leaving Sweet Cheeks. But leaving Salvon Ridge, I went on some country roads and I didn't have any wireless or much gas.
I love where this story is going.
Well,
did you run out of gas?
No, I fought against my instinct. I went way up this country road going, I don't remember this hill. No way did I go up this hill. And really, it was only a mile to the main road. So after 13 or 14 miles, but there were no signs of where I was. It's like, and then I couldn't get anything on my phone. So, and then I just kind of stopped, like Tom Hanks in Castaway at the end of it, where he stops at a 4-way thing and just kind of swivels around. There it is. Yeah. Don't sit down there. I took a picture. That was where I wandered. Then I sat down.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'd try and stay there and drink.
We should podcast from there.
I know. Yeah. No, I thought about it, but man, we're gonna have to have a better experience out there. Sweet cheeks. You know, it is an affordable wine, one you would be, able to put in a brown bag and walk around town drinking out of, and
can't not beat that kind of publicity, that kind of word of mouth.
Yeah, maybe their grapes ain't the best, but their sour grapes sure do make you fucking flee the establishment. And like I just wanted a nice wine to mix with my hash joint, so I could sit down and read, and it wasn't possible there. So yeah, but then I was way out in the country road, and I stopped, and I just kind of like trying to gauge what the right direction is, and I'm terrible at it. Like I'm always wrong.
Were you licking your finger and holding it in the air? How are you trying to gauge?
Chad, he said that he knew how to get home from Sweet Cheeks Winery because it was a right turn and a right turn, which involves no north, south, east, west. Where am I? So already you know that, you're not good at directions, dude. If you just memorize your way home, that's not the way to get home. But it was a really nice
drive, and I would have kept going endlessly except for that fucking, there's like it was one bar of gas, and then when that bar it disappears, that's it. And then it went from a bar to a half a bar. And I'm like, I think I got to turn this thing around. I'm about 13 miles into where I don't know. I mean, there's a chance if I keep going, I'll run into, I didn't want it to turn into one of them traveling salesmen.
Did you know, as a serious question, did you know which direction you were driving?
There was like 3 little towns. I'd hope to end it up in Veneta.
Was it nighttime?
No, it was middle of the day. It was 4 o'clock or so. 4:20. I stopped and got high and looked for directions.
4:20.
That's when I just stopped.
Figure out which direction you're going during the day.
Well, I was going the right direction if I had gas, because I eventually would have ran into something. But I was way out, like I was contemplating going up and knocking on a farmhouse and saying,
by the way, I was going.
You have a landline.
I was going the right direction. If I had gas, is how Columbus discovered America. So maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe I should just back off and let you just wander.
So then I turned around, went back, and then I was kind of buzzed, from not that much wine, but then I thought, maybe I hit that Sweet Cheeks. But then I was like, nah, I got to stay focused and get gas. So I kept going, got into the town of Veneta with nothing. The bar disappeared, and I got to the gas station, got some gas, got a Blizzard. There's a Dairy Queen nearby.
Oh, wow.
He handed it to me right side up. I just let it go. And then I didn't need any more trouble at that point, but technically I was supposed to be presented it upside down.
Or it's free.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think Erickson's no longer with us.
I thought he just really liked Dairy Queen. He was taking notes.
Yeah. It'd be funny, he should do that sometime, just freeze up and then after a minute go, yeah. He does freeze up a lot. He freezes up more than things that freeze up a lot.
Like blizzards?
Yeah, like blizzards freeze up. No, but you know what freezes up is Mr. Misty's. You can't even fucking have one of those when you're driving for fear of a brain freeze. And there's nothing worse than a brain freeze.
I mean, Misty.
It's like a slushy. Like I used to get a lime, Mr. Misty Freeze. Yeah, like a Slurpee slushy.
I don't know if it gets worse when you're older, that the slushies hurt your head more. But I'm I take it easy on those. If I get like a Slurpee a year.
Dude, you're not shitting, dude. I had brain freeze a couple of months ago, and I swore off cold shit right away. I was like, holy fuck. I thought I was going to die. I doubled over, falling on the floor. Fucking, it was the worst.
I know. If you ever
freeze in
like
the
that
world.
is like, a brain freeze is like I've done a lot of coke. I've had nosebleeds, or I've never had anything as intense and painful brought on myself by a short-term joy as a fucking brain freeze. Like, man, that Slurpee's good, and took it just a little too fast and went
Yeah,
from delicious to now I'm having a medical situation.
Now you're gonna die.
Yeah. Fucking Mr. Misty nearly killed me.
Yeah, I
think
never
they make
heard
one with vanilla ice cream in the middle too.
Mr.
by the
Misty
time-
Float.
So by the time you get down, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Misty's, those were delicious. I don't know if they still do them. I think they call them freezies or something else. Everything
I forgot all about it until you said that, Andy. But that's what I used to get out.
everything I used to like is all something different or gone. God damn it. It's just a fucking tragedy. But man, driving on them country roads, I'm gonna do it again. Only this time, I'm gonna know where I'm going. I'm gonna get a county map, and it's beautiful out there, and there's no traffic. It's like cyclist road, so not
just get you can get the directions on your phone, and then just look at them real good before you go, so that if you lose them, all right, I only have to, my next road is up here. You know how we used to have to do when we had maps. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm gonna fucking I like those wineries though. There's just some, it's a cool hang. It's away from most people, and they keep, there it is. Sorry about the glass. I had to take it in the car because I wanted to drink and drive. That's what I had I had more wine in my glass than gas in my tank when I left Sylvain Riche, taking the wrong turn. I emptied the glass of wine and damn near the tank. But yeah, that's a fuck. Their area is cool, but that Sweet Cheeks area is epic. It's like, like you'd want to go hear a fucking band up there. Whereas this place, I picked up people there that were like, it used to be this big fundraiser. They may still have it, but just a lot of ladies getting wine drunk. And, I didn't realize how loud women were until I picked up 4 ladies from a wine thing and I was sober. It's like the fucking concept of volume was gone. Like I'd never, I didn't realize wine makes women fucking extremely like deaf or something. At least this wine night did. They were fucking yelling dumb shit and like, God damn it.
Yeah, that place they both look like a place, a wedding reception destination, or a rehearsal dinner kind of place.
Yeah, that one was loaded. That one was like, there was people everywhere, spaced out, but the beautiful people. I was like, it's like when you show up and you're like, oh, cool, it's like, oh, there the rest of us are. Here we all are.
It's all right here. This is all right.
Yeah. When I got there, it just acted like that's the place to be. Isn't this great? Yeah.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High, dude.
Yep. Yeah, right in there. And they, it's like, before that, when I was in Marin County and then there was the fire, I got cut off. I couldn't. So I haven't had a good percentage rate on getting served at wineries lately. Like, so this would have been the 3rd strike if they said I couldn't get a glass of wine there. Like, man, fuck this. I'm not doing wineries anymore. But it's perfect. And, a lot of wine places are doing these weed and wine pairings. Not that one, but I did in the car.
You started them on it?
Yeah, no, got my glass of wine, went down below there and smoked some weed. That way you really get to know the wine. You smoke hash with it, and then you're like, yeah, fuck yeah. And, it's I'm going to be back there. And, I'll probably go to Sweet Cheeks again and give them one more chance. But there's only so much a guy can take, I was dressed like one of them. Somehow they knew I wasn't one of them.
Oh, like them?
Yeah, like that upper level of people that don't want to talk to me once they know who I am or know me.
I was talking about the movie Them, where they've all got those glasses on and they can see that you're not one of them. Because you don't have the glasses.
I've had some egregious behavior at wineries. I admit it, but not. You can't. Say no, we're not gonna. It's like I could have said, hey man, you can't just cut. You say I can't get a glass of wine when you're out. You can't just willy nilly your hours. And I should have said that and put them on. Because it would have put them in that situation where now they're awkward, not me. But I just couldn't have felt more awkward there.
Had you had any incidences in the past at Sweet Cheeks? Maybe is
yeah,
that a thing that is possible?
That searching look right there is beautiful.
No, but
could it be that you're possibly on a list, Andy?
Well, I'll tell you this: King's
do
Estate,
not serve.
King's Estate,
no
can
fly.
Fuck off. King's Estate can fuck off. People get nauseous.
Wait, what's King's Estate?
It's another one. I had.
There we go.
I had some belly sickness up there at an event.
I'm guessing that new manager of Sweet Cheeks used to be the manager. What was it called?
Yeah.
I threw up like Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, I threw up like Harvey Weinstein jerks off into a plant. And then it's like, excuse me, sir. Like, well, I didn't intend to be nauseous. Maybe a little touch of food poisoning.
They threw you up for being polite.
No, but they didn't. They were disgusted by it, and then I walked away quick enough. So there was no.
Of course they were.
That's why I wear the uniform, the mundane, so I can slip in and out of situations. A light blue crisp shirt and some khaki shorts. You could be the most fucking clumsy fucking cunt on the premises, and you can just blend in with other ones. Whoops! Oh, was it me or this other guy wearing the uniform of the mundane? Yeah, you can't really tell, huh? Because we're all wine drunk and fucking boring.
Not until someone starts puking in a plant, I guess.
We're not really concerned about your khakis. We're more concerned with you throwing up in the spathophyllum over there. Yeah, you're gonna have to pay for that plant.
I can't think of the name. What's that big winery in like on the edge of Marin County? It's like it's a Hollywood family that owns it, and I had an incident.
Coppola?
The Coppola?
Coppola, yeah, the Coppola one. I was again belly sick, and I was having my morning constitutional.
By the way, I like it when there's not a lot of people who can say the phrase again. I was belly sick.
As
a way to start a story. Yeah. Some people start with once upon a time. Andy starts with again. I was belly sick.
I was sleeping in the parking lot, and I'd thrown up, but I'd moved the car. I guess they have security cameras or whatever, and then I slept some more, and it was time for.
They have security cameras or whatever.
Well, it was time for the tasting. At 11, it was time for this is all, I saw, it was a good road trip. I hung out at I jerked off near Paul Bunyan, and I kept going, and I drank, and then I passed out at the Coppola.
That ties back. Yeah, that ties back. Right on.
Yeah, that's why I got to get on the road. I can't really live like this. I got to get out on the road and wake up in a winery, And so I staggered up there. I moved the car because I just felt like it was disgusting, and I didn't even want to get out of either side, So I moved. But I don't know if the early shift got there, or the late shift, or whatever. But when I showed up 11 for the wine tasting, they seemed anything but pleased. Yeah, I'd like to do a flight of wines to get this puke taste out of my mouth. Yeah.
Imagine you show up to the winery. Imagine you show up to the winery for work. It's 11 o'clock. You've had a rough night the night before. You're kind of lethargic. You barely had your coffee. You get coffees in your hand. You've got a whole bunch of shit to do when you get there. But even before, as you open up, there's a process. And when you get there, this motherfucker's standing next to his car in the parking lot, like Johnny Depp in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas at the fucking talking to Gary Busey, just ready to go. Like
you're not peeing if you're standing with your hands on your hip. It's just looking around. What a beautiful day. Isn't this great?
Erickson, add on to that. When you first get in, there's a group of people huddled around a TV monitor, and they're watching Andy puke out his car and then move to a different spot each time he pukes for 2 hours prior to opening. There's 3 puddles of puke next to empty parking spots, and Andy's like, well, I don't know.
I'll tell you
They're
what.
They're playing the game Floppo that I heard about in the Sam Talent book, Running the Light.
Yeah, part of it was diet. Part of it was stress.
Yeah.
And
you have had some stomach issues that you've had to work through, and that's not a joke.
And usually when I sit down in a place like that, I drink a lot of rum because you're restless.
You're at a winery. Why not?
Bring your own hard liquor.
But I need to slurp down rum in the parking lot, waiting for the winery to open.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, I was gonna say this earlier. That would be a funny scene. Like if you go to the winery and they tell you they're not open yet, and they make you sit down and you have to wait, and you're just like sitting there looking at your phone, and then you reach into your sport coat pocket and pull out your whiskey flask and just swig, waiting for the winery to open.
Sir, don't be wandering around in here.
Yeah. Oh, no, sir, excuse me, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like that, it's like that security guard in Vegas. It's like, I'm getting belly sick. And he goes, you're drawing attention to yourself. And I'm like, I'm not trying to, man.
I love how Andy's like he's using like a kid's term, like, I'm going boom boom. Get the fuck up. I got belly icky.
Picture where Andy is getting belly sick and drawing attention to himself is on the side of the Plaza Hotel where there's a million light bulbs above you for a giant fucking walkway.
I think didn't they film that part of Fear and Loathing under those lights? I think they did it. It looked like there's a scene in Fear and Loathing where he's wandering around under those plaza. But when I was doing it, because I thought there was that music festival, and then I heard sirens, and I was already gagging, and then I heard sirens, and I thought, shit, another bloodbath. And so, you start going, and circling around, and that's what I was doing, waiting for the vomit to come and walking it off, and then I thought maybe I'll have to be a first responder here. If this LSD can calm down a little bit, I might have to get involved with this shit.
You forgot to mention that.
Well, that was
off of LSD.
No, I was just peeking. Remember, my phone call that I made from jail, and it wasn't jail, but I was like, Chaille, help, and then I needed a laminate. I needed a lot of stuff that I couldn't articulate to the guy. Where's your ticket? Where are you going? What are your intentions?
We got you back in.
Yeah. We made
we
it.
did some ocean shit. 3 of us spread out. Boom. We worked together. Got Andy right back in. We knew you were in trouble, man. We had you.
We got you back in.
Yeah. It's like just, like you're doing great, and then all of a sudden you get a little nauseous, and then things go down the tubes.
It was a thing where Chaille and Chad and I all looked at each other when we found out you were outside and kicked out and not being let back in. We were like, oh, of course. Like, you can't let you back outside. Like, once you're outside, of course they're not going to let you back in.
But they wouldn't even let that.
It
wasn't even the show. It was the whole hotel.
It's never
the whole like
same thing.
Like I was a fucking yeah, like the plaza. You've seen the fucking riffraff
coming across to the listener.
You can't tell me a place that's attached to a Greyhound bus station has the authority to throw out a guy because he's a concerned liberal worried about people's safety and having belly illness and unable to answer some questions. But really, I didn't know I was going to be taking a quiz.
Andy, I agree with you. I watched a hooker fight, I think the next day, under that same walkway of lights right there. They were drawing attention to themselves.
Yeah,
but it's what it's made
I wonder
for,
if
really.
he asked them what their intentions were.
No, he let him right in.
Theirs were probably pretty clear cut.
They were more ready. I bet they were more ready with an answer.
Well, he asked me a lot of philosophical questions, like, it's like a Barbara Walters interview. I don't know what kind of tree I am, man. I don't know.
Yeah, Chad, I think you nailed it last week when we said that the post office in Eugene also has their own podcast, and you said, yeah, and it's also called Issues with Andy. I think that there's a whole universe of people who are doing their own, like maybe at the plaza, it's on the employee newsletter, like, we have issues with this guy, and there's a picture of Andy. Like, if he is outside of the building, do not let him back in.
Half of our audience is just waiting for their turn to be on the show to tell us what their issue with Andy is. Oh, finally a forum for this asshole.
Yeah, I think it was Andy Warhol who said eventually everyone will have 15 minutes of issues with Andy.
Fucking son, man. It does the same shit every week. At the same time. Fucking.
I got a fucking news flash for you, bro. It does the same thing every day.
What?
Hey, Chad, is it raining?
That's a good shot, though, Andy. That's a good shot.
It has been on and off.
Yeah, it's headed this way.
Fuck yeah. It's too hot to even shift in a chair.
Yeah, it's brutal. The West Coast is being fucking pounded right now.
This rain just dropped us down to like 85 right now. Here.
I fucking envy you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's something like that here.
Yeah.
I turned the AC on in my studio here, and within 15 minutes, it was just unbearable. And by studio, I mean Brian Hennigan's apartment.
Yeah.
Are you there?
It's 86 right now.
Oh, you're
what you started doing. That's a good idea.
Yeah, don't worry. Luckily, he doesn't watch, so he has no idea. Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, are you in his apartment upstairs?
I'm in my I'm in my studio.
Uh-huh.
I think you should put the puppet up on that shelf over your shoulder so we can always see him sitting there looking down on you.
I would like to do that, and somehow we'll make that happen. But we have to, the pandemic has to stop. I don't want to have it sent to me and have it have coronavirus all over it.
That's true. Chaille's been touching it. With
it's gross. We'll figure that out, though.
So today, to beat the heat, I sit in my car a lot. Nobody bothers me. Open that hatchback, and I got them few Playboys I keep current on things.
God, we do got to get you on the road, brother.
So I'm hanging
out. In your car at your own house. That's brutal.
Yeah.
That's somebody. You're like Willie Nelson. Like, after a couple of months, I'm just fucking, I got to get out there. Willie just goes out to his bus, and he sits on his bus, and he smokes joints. The difference is you don't have a bus. So we got to get you back out there.
You got a hatchback.
They're both looking at Playboys from 1976, though.
So I'm hanging out, I'm not getting romantic. I'm just hanging out, and then a car pulls up, and eventually a guy gets out, and he has a box, and it's a delivery. So I'm, I put my Playboy down, but I didn't, fuck it, whatever. And then he goes, oh, I have a delivery for your Lorinda, and I go, oh, okay. And then he goes, are you Andy? And I go, yeah. And then he starts getting, he's friendly, so I know he's in the cult. So he's real friendly. And then I pick up the Playboy again, go back to reading it. But he goes, oh, are you? And he goes, oh. And then you know how they fucking reach for whatever. I'm gonna forget the name of it, but it's got fucking anyway. It's like a stain, rain. Fuck, man. That's why
rain guard.
Well, it's just it's a deck stain. It's a deck stain, a brand of it. And he goes, how is that? I go, what?
Yeah.
How is that rain? Whatever.
He's definitely
and
watching
the
podcast, right? He has to be.
Yeah.
And he showed he was delivering something.
That's crazy, man.
It was a food box, and with a positive message written on top. But then,
was he actually a worker, or was he just a random guy who brought you a box of something?
Well, he on the list.
That's less scary. I thought a UPS guy was fucking infiltrating you.
Yeah.
Well,
so did I.
He's a JPS.
It's still fucking creepy. Yeah, and then with the car salesman, I don't need a fucking buddy. Things,
Right.
Anyway,
No, that's
man.
it.
Right.
Listen,
But
that is true.
Yeah, but he was on, that's his thing. And then I heard how, that was the fourth one, and then what all of them, all the different things they contain. So it's like, I know, eventually there's going to be a sales pitch. I'm not an undecided voter here. I'm not,
You're not voting for Joe Jorgensen?
Yeah,
You're not still thinking
I'm
about
I'm not a fence leaner. I know how I feel about all this, and I can see the sales pitch a mile fucking way because I'm a cynic, and two, I don't fucking I've been burned by religion quite a bit. I mean, I got choked by it, molested by it. I mean, the money I took from the collection plate didn't even come close to soothing the pain. And my grandma
it helps, but it ain't full reparations.
My grandma used to send Jimmy Swaggart money until I discovered her scam, and then I would get the envelopes. And so, I did know about religion and how to utilize it, but
it still happens. My ex, who is a wonderful woman, a smart, wonderful woman, a great mother. I don't know that she still does, but when we were married, was sending money to focus on the family. Mm-hmm. And that was a big issue that we had. We fought about that for a while.
Did you spank her?
And we never resolved that. Here's the thing. I didn't do like you, Andy. I didn't play according to your God, I'm the man of the household, so you have to do what I say. Looking back, I made a mistake there. I should have definitely played that card right from the beginning and just nipped it in the bud. But I thought maybe we could have an intellectual discussion in which we honestly and openly discussed all aspects of a topic.
Don't you be treating people as equals when you can much easier manipulate them, Erickson.
I was talking to a born-again Christian, so that's where I made my mistake.
Yeah. Oh well.
But that is it. Like I didn't mind that she was. Ultimately, I didn't mind that she believed in whatever religion she wanted to believe. She could be Christian or Sikh or fucking Hindu. It doesn't matter to me. But she doesn't need to send a grifter money in the mail. Yeah. That's where I was like, listen, this guy is fucking playing you right now. Oh. And she just didn't see it. A woman who was the tip of the spear at the trauma center emergency room of a fucking huge hospital. The smartest, the person you want on point when someone gets wheeled in with multiple fucking wounds. And this woman couldn't understand that she was being tricked. And that's fucking crazy.
My wife believes in ghosts, Erickson. We just don't talk about it. I just don't ever let it come up. That's all.
God damn it! I love you.
How could you not believe in ghosts? Not only do I believe in them, one of them entered my body and pulled some rape shenanigans on my my wife or fiance at the time. I told you guys that the Mystic, Connecticut. What? I had a succubus or incubus, whatever the dude one, and
one's demonic possession. The other is a terrible man from the early 2000s.
Well, so we're staying at this bed and breakfast in Mystic, Connecticut, the Red Brook Inn, I think it was, and it was this creepy fucking. This was in my 20s, 25, 23. I was hot, all fucking had stomach muscles and shit, flowing hair, confident. No, I didn't have confidence, but I had flowing hair. So we're staying at this place, and there's like a thunder and lightning storm out the window. It looked like a Scooby-Doo, like a fucking, that's the place. And that rock wall, and it was like fucking creepy. And then my fiance is going to the bathroom, and then I'm in the bed, and then I just kind of like, I could feel like there was a dude there, and he entered me, and then he entered my fiance. He was way more.
You were in a three-way with a ghost.
Exactly. The best three-way I've ever been in was with a ghost, and he fucking hammered her. I don't know if he let out an arg when he came, but But I became fucking just paralyzed, and then this dude like took over the ship.
So wait.
He was like, and also this is gonna
you got to give us more on this. So you were in bed. Your wife, your fiance, was in the bathroom.
Yeah, and when she came out of the bathroom, I grabbed grabbed her and put her down on the bed and fucked her.
It was romantic.
Yeah, like I'm a road comic and I don't know who she is.
That's opposite of what Erickson
not romantic. Yeah,
I'm not saying it was romantic. I'm saying
I know you aren't, but you agreed to what Erickson said, which is
I don't know. I feel like road sex.
Still fucking just glossed right over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a bit of a he hadn't been laid.
So I feel like you were on the road. Basically, you were trying to have road sex with your fiance, like a comic who didn't know this person, and a ghost stepped in like the headliner and said, "Sit down."
Yeah. Hey, here's some taglines. Here's some taglines for you. You can work on.
You like that?
And then he hammered her.
I'm sorry to interrupt. So give me we got to hear the actual. So like she's on the bed, and then you were like frozen, like you couldn't move.
No, I was on the bed frozen, and then
did he fuck? Did he fuck you first?
No. He used me to fuck her. I was.
Are you telling this to an officer or someone? Was there an issue?
Bullshit. I get it. So you're just complimenting yourself right now. Like I fucked her like a fucking succubus.
I fucked her. Okay. I fucked her like I was like a sea captain. I don't know what his actual title was, but he seemed all fucking Scooby-Doo-ish captain of the ship kind of guy. He's a short little fucker with a nice cool beard. It's basically she got fucked by a hipster before they existed. But he wasn't a hipster. He was a dead fucking secret.
But he worked through you.
Yeah. He entered me, like not sexually, but he entered my body.
That's why.
So let's talk about that. So you were at what point did this happen? Do you remember? Were you like already naked, like you were about to fuck, and then?
No. I was just kind of like, I think we were tired. It was a late check-in. And here's the thing, too. That was like the lady who checked us in was out of Scooby-Doo, too. Like Hungarian, fucking late at night.
We have room for you. You have room. Go to your room now.
You go to your room. And then, so then this lightning storm happened. And then I saw the fucking dude. I saw him. I caught a glimpse of him before I became like fucking paralyzed. And then he
like in smoke or like in a haze of a mirror?
I was just on the bed and I became extremely like Xanax. Like I had 2 Xanax.
He was on the bed? Was he like sitting on the bed? Like, hey, bro, I'd love to take a shot.
He was by a cabinet, like a hutch. He was hanging by the window, by the hutch.
Wait till she comes out of the bathroom, buddy.
Exactly. That's what he was doing. And I saw what was going on, and you could just kind of tell. You could kind of tell what he was. Well, you want to make sure he's got an arm before you do that. Like he might be one of them, lost an arm fishing.
I think that's great, though. I mean, you might not have it in you that night. You might be feeling like, we've been driving all day. I'm feeling a little tired. The sun, when you're driving in the afternoon, the sun just beats you down. You don't have it in. And then you have a heavy meal, maybe some pasta. You're like, I don't want. And then fucking tag out.
Pizza.
Does this guy do commissions? How do we hire this guy?
We ate at Mystic Pizza.
Right.
From the movie.
Food from this, and then went to that place. It was the only place we could afford that was anywhere near town, and then it was this like a bed and breakfast. So after the rape situation, the next morning at breakfast, like he didn't rough her up. It was consensual, but not. She didn't know who it was. Go ahead.
Right.
Did she just believe what you said? Because are you sure you didn't just violently fuck your fiance?
I don't think it's violently. I
And then
wouldn't use
like,
the
hey,
term
not
violent. It was
this
urgent.
is the weirdest
He was
thing. Like,
he wanted
no way
to come. That guy hadn't come in 20 years or whatever. You know, he's horny and arg or whatever. But he took over me, had sex with her, and then at breakfast the next morning we're sitting there and we didn't really talk about it. After, you know, I was like, I was still kind of fucking tired. You know,
It's like,
we
can you
both.
pass this sausage?
I don't. Yeah, the ghost came. He didn't come. I came. So I was out like a light. And then the next morning, then some lady there, a different lady goes, "What room did you folks stay in?" And we told her, and she goes, "Oh, well, that's the ghost room." And then we both were, thought it, and then we talked about it later. Like I doubt she probably would even back me up on this anymore. But at the
Not
time,
when you keep calling it rape.
But
well,
don't you see that when you look back on a situation in which you think you've had a ghostly experience, there's always that confirmation from someone outside of the experience, and that's the receptionist or whatever the next morning when she said, "Oh, what room did you stay in?" And you gave her a number, and then she said, "Oh, that's the ghost room." And then anything that happened the night before seems like it was for sure proven by her saying, and that just proves it.
Well,
and
I
now
should research
validate. Thank you, Chad.
I might be, somebody who's like, maybe everybody's had positive situations with this guy or whatever, but it is a registered, like, it's a haunted.
Someone had a positive.
People know it's haunted. It's on those registries, haunted.
Listen,
but then I haven't
it's
heard
all over Twitter. Look at hashtag #MeBoo.
Yeah.
Stop it.
No.
I did go on to the Red Book.
We let you have B too, but
I did MeBoo too.
Hey Andy, I did go on the website, Red Book Inn. They have a lot of documentation, and they do have a. I don't know if this is from the room.
Captain Creepy Ghost,
but there is a picture that they got. There we go.
There it is. Yeah.
Put a peg leg and a sea outfit on him, and you still don't have. You're not capturing him at all. Yeah, but he was. He
has been spotted.
But I don't know the term. It's like I think it's an incubus.
I think we mentioned the term.
Okay. Well, anyway, like, there were no complaints. Like,
no, that's just hot sex. That's hot sex. You're with your fiance in a hotel room, and you're doing hey, the ghost has got me now. I'm coming, baby. Like, we're just joking. We're not trying to like say you did anything.
I'm not saying no, but I'm saying if you want, you want to rent that room, you should know. But, what if you're in that room with your kid or a beloved small pet?
Yeah, but you started it.
If your wife is litigious in any way, don't stay in that room.
Yeah, I was an innocent victim. Thank God he didn't get her pregnant. We weren't ready for that one or whatever. He might have had company in that room with an aborted fetus hanging with him.
She would have given birth to a parrot.
Well, all right, I'm convinced there's ghosts. All right.
Yes.
Hey, it was registered, Chad, a real place.
And then besides that, every other ghost
and a
thing.
lady at breakfast validated it, Erickson.
Absolutely.
At the Idaho Hotel in Boise, I knocked a picture off the room roughhousing, and I blamed that on a ghost.
Yeah.
But that was me.
A history.
Yeah, the nail. Yeah, like I was just in bed and the picture fell off the wall. Nothing about throwing a football against that wall and catching it for an hour. Hey, there it is. There's the baby I had.
When I was
in Connecticut.
When I was young, I wiped my dick on the curtains in a hotel, and I blame that on a ghost too. So I get you. There's a lot of things we do that we're not proud of, and we just say, "I think that was a ghost."
Yeah.
And
I'm gonna rent an anal ghost room to see what.
That was anal.
That's fucking. I can't even look at that creepy kid. I'd rather see a cleft palate baby. Right. There was they'd put the cleft palate kids up on this billboard that was on I-5 for a while. And man, like, like some people, like you see a hot chick and you like don't pay attention to what's going on in traffic. You put a cleft palate on a billboard on the freeway. It's like, I can't even fucking, I'm going to drive through it or hit a car to the left of me or something, but it is unnerving. Like, I can't think of anything worse they could put up there. And God bless them kids, and hopefully they get a mustache in there and fix her up. But it's just not what you want to see, on the road. Remember they used to put advertisements for restaurants, not a giant cleft.
Hopefully they get a mustache in there.
Where would it go though? That's the problem.
Yeah, you're always going to have that spot where it won't grow, and that's just going to call more attention to it.
Well, that's where you glue one on. You work with a team. You get your Sherlock Holmes kit.
Maybe that could be like another like Shriners charity. Like instead of eyeglasses for third world country kids, they could do mustaches for cleft palate babies.
Yeah,
mustaches for hair lips. Hair for hair lips.
And I don't think
we're working our way there.
And it sucks, it sucks being I'm not saying being an average, ugly or regular faced fucking person. This world sucks and is full of shit. And I can't imagine, my parents punching me out and having a cleft palate or diabetes or some other, it's like, Jesus, like poor Shawnee Rouse, he'd walk around this fucking poor feet, and he liked to do drugs, and drink a lot and do all the things I like to do, but God put this fucking disease on him, so his feet hurt. It's like, it's like when you talk about people who have shit like that. I mean, it's like a way of kind of like fucking thinking about their pain or whatever. I don't think it's fun to have a cleft palate. I think it would be suck to have a fucking cleft palate. Like you're trying to chew tobacco or eat soup and it runs out your face, and you're like, God damn it, man! Like this on top, I'm running late. My car won't start, and now my soup just ruined my shirt. Why did I?
Wait, my car won't start, and you're also in a situation where you're eating soup. Like those two things very rarely cross.
Well,
and then
somebody with a cleft palate has regular problems, and then they got a cleft palate on top of it.
Then they get to work and they're in a fucking bad mood because of all of this, and everybody thinks they're smiling. And it's just a horrible.
You know who doesn't complain? People with cleft.
No, we don't know.
Who knows?
Who doesn't complain?
People with cleft palates. People with bad teeth, maybe. No, I've seen people with bad teeth complaining plenty. But, this is a time where your bad teeth can be hidden and you don't have to be angry. It's like, don't worry about it. You don't breathe that much anyway. Anyway, there he is. Shawnee Rouse. The most fucking...
his palate was fine.
Yeah. Yeah, and he hid that letter he wrote to Trump early on about Trump when Trump made fun of the handicap guy was so fucking point on. Shawnee Rouse is so fucking. I would love to hear Shawnee Rouse these days, but apparently he got an early case of COVID. I don't know. He would,
He's at the Sweet Cheeks Winery in the Sky right now.
Yeah.
Screaming at them, and they're like, and right now they're telling him, "Sir, we are not open."
Yeah, Sean's just trying to open the Gatorade, and they're like, "I'm sorry, you can't loiter in here." Okay, all right, and he'd shuffle out of there. Sean was pretty compliant with shit until he wasn't. But I always let it. I like to let people to think I'm being compliant, and then I'll double back around on them or something. Then I'm like, oh, I really didn't get it. Like, I mean, fuck it, they're dragging off mailboxes. Why should I not loiter at Sweet Cheeks? Like, fuck you, man. The president's committing federal crime. I'm going to stay here and have wine.
I'm still fucking curious as to maybe this chick listened to the podcast. She doesn't like you. There's something else. You're not sitting on a book, reading a book after you were denied a drink. Like, you're not loitering. I'm waiting to be a fucking customer.
To order.
I want to be a customer.
I want to be a customer. You saw that. I'm waiting to be a customer. I don't. How do you? I don't know.
Yeah, like there's this hipster
like
bar.
You, Andy.
In
no,
Portland.
we're asking you what else was going on. You're just going along with it.
Nothing.
Yeah, what
Andy's like, fuck, they don't serve wine until 3. I'm gonna nature jack on this deck.
Right. No, like I just said. I said, oh, okay, and then I wandered out, and then I grabbed my book, my reading glasses, and took a couple hits, and then maybe the weed blew in there, and then there's like,
No, did you say like, oh, you're not open till 3? Can I just sit here until 3 and then?
No, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. So I just went. I didn't say, "Can I enjoy your lovely patio while I wait for my wine?" I just went and decided to go to hang out there and sit down.
And then they said, no,
And then,
you can't
you
sit
know,
up.
yeah, one of them was decided to
Can't wander
came up
around.
and
You had pants
quite
on when you
honest,
came in here, sir.
quite honestly, I felt like she didn't practice
Something
social
happened to him, man.
distancing. I felt like she was about 4 feet, instead of 6 feet, and then she, basically, felt like I was trash. Like, beat it. They didn't need my business. They didn't have any business, and they didn't need mine. I think maybe
when a business is closed, they usually don't have people in there buying things.
No, but I mean, but if you're a customer who shows up early for an opening of a service place that is relying on people drinking, then they should be more welcoming to you. Like, hey, hang out over, just sit over here, sir, and we'll be with you as soon as you'll be table number 1.
Yeah, and just so you know, ma'am, I'm going to go to a different winery, and just so you know, I buy wine for a restaurant chain in Los Angeles. Have you heard of Wolf?
So you're doing like
have you heard of Wolfbang Puck? Yeah, I
big mistake. Big mistake.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah,
when Andy told the story,
that Puck, the Puck from fucking real life or whatever on MTV.
When Andy told this story, specifically said, she didn't say we're closed or we're not open yet. She said we don't serve wine until 3. So the patio would seem to be open to me. I'm with you, Andy. I would assume. Yeah. You didn't tell me to go away. Sir, can you go sit on a tree stump for fucking 30 more minutes?
I know it's 95 degrees, but would you mind going ahead and sitting in your car so that you're not in any of this open space on this fabulous hillside with these fountains? Could you please just go sit in your car? That's probably like you wouldn't leave a pet in the car, and that's what she was asking me to sit in my car. Basically. Is
that what she said to you? Like you went out and sat down, and then she came up to you and said, "Sir, you cannot sit here. You must leave."
I could have asked her, "Is it okay if I wander the driveway?"
So you didn't sit down. You just left when they said they weren't open yet. You just went to your car at that point.
Yeah, I get up when I'm not. People tell me to leave all the time, and I just go with
Erickson, don't put words in his mouth. You just confused the story.
I thought that you went in and you ordered a drink and went and sat down, and then they came to you and said, "Sir, we're not open
I went
yet."
in, I ordered a drink, and they said we won't be serving for 37 minutes. And then I mumbled, "I guess my watch is fast." Or whatever, and I didn't have a watch on.
And then you just went
I was referencing that the fact that their sign said.
Oh, then you went to the patio.
Then I went to the car, and then I was
so
like right away.
He never went to the patio. That's what I thought. I thought she threw him off of the patio, but he never.
That was the story he told.
That is what he said.
After she said I couldn't have a glass of wine, I went to the car, grabbed my reading glasses, and smoked another bowl, and then took my book and Sam Tallent's book, Running the Lights, and
Running the Lights,
and then I sat down to read it, and then she'd already rejected me once, and then this was it again. I should have asked
after you went to your car.
I should have asked her on a date at that point.
Patio.
Yeah, like it was going so well. Like, no, you can't have a drink for 37 minutes. And then, now you can't wander around, which I was sitting down. I wandered, took a picture, and sat down. That's not wandering. Wandering is getting up again. And then going.
Even at that point, it's like, it's got to be way closer to serving time. You've already been to your car.
Yeah, so it's like I got 34 minutes or 30, whatever minutes, and she could have just and then I didn't go right into the middle of the thing either. I'm sitting on the edge, and then
wait a minute, Andy, with all due respect, I'm sorry to interrupt you again, but she told you 37 minutes, and you went to your car, and you didn't kill more than 3 minutes before you fucking went back to the fucking deck. Like, you're going to your car to sit there and smoke a joint. You could have at least killed 10 to 11 minutes at that point.
I took a hit off of my pipe, a pipe rip. So I took a pipe rip, and then I grabbed Gatorade too. So maybe she felt like it was a competing beverage out there now. But I was doing what you would do when it's about 100 fucking degrees and you're on a winery hillside with fountains. I think, okay, they're going to open in 30 minutes. I'll just grab a seat along the edge of this thing. So when they open, I'll be first in line. And they basically, they cost themselves some customer there. I stole a glass up the road. Thank you.
Yeah. So they came to you after you went and sat down.
Yeah, it's the same one who rejected me on the thing, and then she goes, "That you can't just wander around here till we're open, sir."
Oh fuck.
So I felt like going, like, maybe I'll go get, maybe I should go get drunk at the other one and then really wander around. Like she doesn't know. Like I'll get into my Vegas wandering mode. Yeah. Like, you want to see what I look like at the plaza wandering around. That's a serious fucking problem for your business.
Yeah.
Sir,
you don't want to see me go off. You don't want to see me go off Fremont Street on you motherfuckers.
Yeah. Where are your pants? I'm soaking them. Wait, why are you soaking pants? You don't want to know. But could I get another Riesling?
You're soaking in it?
Hold still. I'm about to kick you in the nuts.
Oh shit! I could just keep going, but we should probably break right here and go make a drink, and then come back and do the Patreon portion of this show, right? All right. Yeah. There's there's Andy's Venmo address right there. You see it right behind Chaille's beautiful face. So if you would like to
these fabulous winery runs. Yeah, whenever you donate money, I go out and have a nice glass of Riesling and create content.
Yeah, and it's also clear he needs a full tank of gas to do this because he has no idea where he is at all points.
Plus tip money.
So help him out, everybody. That would be very kind. Also, subscribe to Chad Shank's Twitch channel. You can do that with an Amazon Prime subscription. You get one of those for free every month. If you don't use it for someone else on Twitch, then use it for Chad. Simple as that. And you just have to re-up every month. So please do that too. Yeah, and if you would like to hang out with us a little bit more, we'll do the episode 76 Patreon. Is this episode 76? I think it's episode 76.
Oh yeah.
We'll do the episode 76 after party over on Patreon. That's where we, after our hard work, I'll do some stretches, some cool downs, and just have a nice relaxing time to bring our blood pressure and our heart rate back down. Yeah. And you can join us there if you sign up.
Drink more.
It's like those parties where there's like everybody's like all of a sudden they go, okay, party's over, everybody, and then you leave the party, you had a good time, and then a group of people go back and do a bunch of blow.
Yeah. You want to be in which group of people do you want to be in? The people who thought the party was really over, or the people who knew I'm just looking for a fucking egg ramp right now? Thank you for being out there. We love you. Like and subscribe to the Issues Within, the YouTube channel, and we'll see you again in a couple days.